Okay. Hi, this is NFT Eve Hennessy, and I'm here with Fer Caggiano, and she is in Brazil. Do you live in Brazil still?
No, I actually live in South Carolina.
You
I've
do?
been here for 5 years, yes.
All right. I used to live in South Carolina when I was a little girl.
Nice.
I liked it. I mean, I was a little kid. It was fun. We played in the straw needles, straw stacks, and muddy ponds. It was so fun. Okay. So we're going to talk about NFTs. You're an NFT artist, and you're involved in a lot of different projects, and I want to hear all about them. So maybe we'll start off with, do you have an elevator pitch at all that you like, oh, this is when you go to present yourself, what it is that you do that you want to share with us?
Even though I'm still working on it, I do have something. I usually introduce myself as a philanthropist artist. So I have a mission, which is to use my art as a voice to promote change for the greater good. So most of my projects have some sort of benefit, either, like for the environment or for minorities of, all sorts of causes that I believe in. Like I try to put that as an awareness on my projects.
Lovely, lovely. Have you been, were you first a philanthropist or an artist, or have you always been both, or how does that work?
I'll say I only came to an understanding of that recently, but I have always been the tree hugger in the family. Since I was a kid, I was always concerned about, mom wanted to kill the ants that were invading the house, and I was like, don't kill them. So according to mom, I spoke to them and they left, and I was like, okay, I have no memory of that, but apparently that was like, I was always driven by, taking care of all creatures since I was little. And I have gone to marketing school instead of art because I didn't believe I could be an artist. So I started my career differently. Like I focused on something that wasn't me, and then life kind of like pushed me into becoming an artist. So everything that happens in my life kind of seems to be more like a life push than something that I intentionally made a decision. So I started art in New York 20 years ago. I was there with an L2 visa, so I couldn't continue on my corporate job on advertising. So I went to art.
To become an artist.
Yep. So I became an artist because I didn't have a choice. So I was like,
that's awesome.
Like I couldn't do what I actually am passionate about. So that was that. And 20 years ago, I am still an artist. So it really was my calling. But becoming a philanthropist as a tagline is maybe a couple of years only, because I realized that was always what I've been driven by. Like one of the projects that I'm involved with is a reforestation project in Brazil. So I help sponsor the reserve.
What's it called? A
reforestation.
A reforestation. Okay.
Yes. So like in 2017, I think, I did a show with Brazilian animals. I painted all sorts of Brazilian nature. And that was when the Amazon had this horrific burning, like it was like nonstop for a month, and we lost a lot of the forest. And I was like, it doesn't happen altogether that I put a show when something like this is happening. So I got in touch with friends back home, and I was like, is there any project happening that I could support with my sales? And a friend of mine was actually putting together, she bought the land and she went through the whole bureaucratic process to turn it into a reserve. And then I sponsored the planting of the trees. So it is like amazing. And I got to go visit this year. So I took a drone and we did all this aerial views, and it's beautiful. I'm super excited to see how it's already changing the landscaping in the area, like bringing back the forest.
Are you going to make NFTs out of those photos?
No, I usually do NFTs out of my oil paintings, although I do photograph as well. And just
I have to insert this, but I interviewed this guy's name's Daniel. I forget his last name, but he's one of my Spanish videos. I also interview in Spanish.
Yes.
And he actually does a very similar thing in Colombia.
He has a parrot, a macaw, and it's his profile.
Yeah, yes. He was in sustainability. Then he got into art, and now he's doing NFTs to help the wildlife. So I want to maybe do an interview one day with both of you guys together.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I came across him in one of the spaces, and it was so cool to see that we're working with the same ideals. So it was very nice. So whenever I see him, I try to go and check out what he's doing. I really appreciate all his work. So it's amazing. And that's one of the things that I believe NFTs can be great help. So I'm also getting involved in a new platform that is about to launch. And yeah, I'm not even sure like how open they are about the launch yet, but I think it's going to be called Favorite. And it's a platform that is going to support NFTs for charitable activities. It's going to connect directly with a lot of associations that need to be benefited. So
who's the team, or how did you find them?
Well, that's a whole different story.
Don't tell the whole story because I want to see your art. But sometimes I have a feeling like this is just an aside that we have to, when anyone's doing philanthropy and good deeds in the NFT space, we have to do double diligence to make sure they're who they are, because everybody wants to save the children and the forest, you know, and there's so much anyway.
No, you have to check people, but I personally know the person.
Oh, thank God.
And he's my first collector, so I'm like, I trust him. So if you want, I can share the
let's share the screen.
Yes. So this is, I don't know, is it showing properly?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yep. So here I have this is my main website. It's just so people understand where I'm coming from. I am an oil painter, have been for 20 years. The peacock in the image there is the same as I have a scarf. So if you look at my website, you'll find original art, you see NFT art, you see prints, you see products. So I do all sorts of things. And so what I have currently happening, which you probably saw, was the Hive show.
Yeah, I want to also connect you with a very good artist who works with bees. That's one reason why you stood out to me, was you're working with bees.
Nice, great. So so the Hive is a show that I put together to bring awareness to the loss of the population that we have on the bees. It's for me, it's a huge problem that is not looked close enough.
Yeah.
But that came after I was doing this other project here. This is the project that I got mostly known for here in South Carolina. I spent 2 years painting.
Is that a real gallery?
It is. It's a museum.
Oh, all right. I thought it was like, amazing.
It's a museum. I had an exhibition of 42 portraits.
What museum?
It's the City Gallery in Charleston.
Oh my God. Well, I have to totally interrupt again. It's like my thing. Okay, because my friend, her name's Elsa B. Dixon. Have you ever heard of her? She happens to run a gallery. She's from here, from Washington, D.C., but she runs a gallery in Danville, Virginia, and she's done a years-long project with bees. I'm going to totally connect you guys.
Fantastic.
All right, because you got museum, Southern Museum. All right.
So I put this project together because I arrived in South Carolina. I married an American, so I moved back to the US, and I didn't quite know the area. And after a very short period of time, I got involved with a gallery, and soon I was invited to be co-owner. So, things just escalated really fast on my career here.
Wow.
And in that time, I decided that I wanted to go back to figurative. I was doing a lot of landscape art just because it's easier to sell and easier to make a living and all of that. So I was like, okay, I am not so happy just doing landscape art. I want to go back to figurative, which is what I learned in school in New York. And so I painted some nudes, and I was told that I shouldn't be doing that because, people are not going to see that very nicely. It's a conservative area, yada, yada. And I was like, you don't tell me what to paint and what not to paint. You know, it's my art. And I was sharing on my social, not the gallery social media. And I was like, you know, this is just wrong. So I painted I actually have to show the other piece. I painted this, okay, now going back to Dare to Dream. NFT. I have to like find my way around here.
That's fine.
I painted this piece, which is the finger, like I'm giving a middle finger.
Oh yeah, I've seen this piece.
So that was my
I don't
response.
give a yeah, I've seen this piece.
Yeah, so that was my response to people criticizing me what I should and should not paint.
I think the people that I've some collectors had collected your work that I interviewed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this piece is famous. Wow.
Yes, well, this piece was selected for a juried exhibition at the City Gallery during Piccolo Spoleto in 2019. So first I thought, you know, like this is so conservative and I can't really deal with the area here. And then I get selected with this piece. And I was like, I think we have work to do. So after that, I decided to go to this project. So I was like, this may be conservative and not, you know, as ahead of, you know, like Europe or, you know, New York or bigger cities. But we do have amazing women in the community. So I wanted to showcase those stories. So I started by painting. First was a helicopter pilot, and it came out of, you know, like a connection that I had through someone else, and she's a helicopter pilot for the Navy. Nice. And it started moving, like people selecting, like nominating other people. So I painted all this 42 portraits. It's actually 40 women that I celebrated here. And then they all told me I had to have my portrait as well. So I ended up putting my portrait, which is not even in the list there because I didn't want to get myself in it, but it was on the press and the media everywhere. I got so many interviews, so many like TV features, magazines, newspapers. It was huge.
42 portraits of amazing women.
Yeah, it was absolutely huge. Like this one, for instance, Janet Bates, she is a leader in construction. And I painted her on her polka dot dress in a construction site with her hard hat. So it was super cool. And she was the first portrait I finished. And back then, it actually, I got approached by a curator from a museum in Louisiana. And they wanted me to send this portrait for a show that they were having. So before anything else started, this piece was already selected for another museum show. But anyway, it took me 2 years to make this happen. I applied for the City Gallery. I had no idea if this was going to become a reality or not. And then I finally got a call and they said, listen, we can hang your show next month. And I was like, well, that's fantastic. But I said, like, I still have 7 portraits to finish. And they're saying like, no, it's now or not, or now or never. You're not going to have another opportunity. We're not doing any solo exhibitions. We're only taking yours. And I was like, oh my God, I really have to take this. So I said, I'm going to make it work. So I finished some back here. And then one of them I finished in the gallery during the show, and then people would come by and they would see me working. A few of them were hung, still wet. It was madness, but I really was committed to doing 40 portraits because I wanted to put this book together.
Beautiful. Beautiful gallery. And wow.
Yeah, so I put the book together because my idea was to empower.
Hit the stop share screen and then let's see your book.
Yeah, okay.
And then we can go back to it.
Yeah. So share screen. So yeah, this is the book. And yeah, this is my self-portrait that I ended up putting there.
Oh, lovely. Oh, I love it. It's really great.
And the book, like the idea was to have all of let me open one of the pages. So all of the portraits with their bios.
Oh, I love it.
My goal is to inspire the locals and the younger generation, especially.
That is amazing. That is so incredible. Wow.
To show that we have such amazing stories. And oh my God, like the exhibition went on for almost 2 months, and I was there almost every day because I wanted to be able to talk to people, and it was just like amazing. And my favorite part was like this little girl. She came in with her parents. She was probably around 5. And she had seen a video that I did for the Charleston Children's Museum the week before on, it was on female empowerment, and I was telling them how to do, like, the audience was like 3 to 7. So I was teaching them how to do a self-portrait with crayons. And then I mentioned the show.
That's
and she
lovely.
really wanted to go there. So her mom walks in and say like, oh, we don't know if she's going to be here. And I'm like, oh, I think they're talking about me. So, like, I got introduced to them, and the mother was like, you won't believe that in her age, she's already questioning what she can and cannot do as a girl. And I was like, this is so freaking wrong, like that we as female have to go through that.
I know.
And
it's
then,
2021, and it's like things haven't really changed that much. I mean, they've changed, but not that much.
Yes. So it was really cool to see, because that 5-year-old walked through the gallery. She read each bio.
Wow.
And then they came around, they wanted to talk to me again. And I said, like, I always ask, like, which one is your favorite? Because people, they connect with the either the roles that the women are doing and all of this. She looked at me and she said, you. And I burst into tears. I was like, oh my God, like this was like the most special thing like ever. So I knew that this project had achieved my goal, which was touch the younger generation to know that they could be doing something. So let me get back
I
to
feel like crying. I feel that's really incredibly amazing.
Oh, it was amazing. So this, let me see if it doesn't, I don't want to have the audio because I'll take the audio off. I just wanted to be able to have like a little bit of an idea of what was happening there. So the City Galleries.
Oh, love God. I lived in Charleston as a little girl. Beautiful. It's so beautiful there.
So it's a 2-story museum at the front of the Pineapple Fountain. I had those 2 floors to display this 30 by 40 large portraits of these local inspiring women.
Incredible.
So it was just like an experience that, like, after that, I was like, I figured out what I really want to do. So I decided that I'm here to make a difference by showing, bringing awareness to things that, can be inspiring, or, a subject that needs attention. So anyway, the show was absolutely amazing. We had great attendance, even though it was during COVID. We were not allowed to do a reception or anything. So people had to come, they had to book in advance, they had to wear a mask, they had limited time during the visit. And still, we had the best attendance since prior to COVID.
Amazing. No, this is a great show. I want to see it. It'll probably go this is that kind of show that's going to travel all over all over, because it's so cohesive. It's such a concept that I've never seen in a show.
So people kept asking me whenever they were at the gallery, they would say, so are you traveling with this show? Are you taking it national? And I was like, well, no, for 2 reasons. First, it nearly broke me. It took me 2 years with no sponsors.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you make that? How did you make 40?
I drained every penny I had to make this happen, because I was committed to the cause. And even like after I finished this, I created a fundraiser to support local associations that help women.
Wow.
And it was insane. So after this, this year is the first year I'm actually on profit. I was absolutely broke because, I think I give more than I make. So it was hard.
So are you making all of these into NFTs?
Yes. So that's,
that will be good for you. And you have to check out Honeybee and Cupcake.
No,
I interviewed them yesterday, but they're this couple, and they are 2 ladies, and they do a lot with women's stuff like empowerment. They somehow told me about collecting WNBA NFTs. They're amazing, and they do a lot with, I mean, a lot of us are doing a lot with this. You know, a lot of us in the space are like, okay, here we are. You know, we're done with the backseat situation. And
That's awesome.
here we
I would
are.
love to get connected with all of the people that are
They're
doing
major
this stuff.
collectors. They've been in the space for 7 months, which is like 10
Wow.
years in the
Yes, I was going to say it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they're like pioneers, and their collection is amazing. They have incredible eye for art. They're very good with numbers. Like,
Wow,
yeah, you just have to
fantastic.
contact them because they will promote you and they will help. And they will, of course, I'm sure, you know, everyone will collect your work. But so I'm going to put all of the links. I always forget to say this in the beginning, but smash the likes, and everybody who's watching this video, please put a comment, because for one, we like to hear from you. For two, is very important for the algorithm, and share it, you know, like this is how we're helping each other to get each other's work out, to help, you know, help everyone.
Yeah.
So, wow.
So circling back to how this actually translated to NFTs. So during the exhibition, people kept asking me if I was going to take it national out of all of this. And I was like, I can't afford it. And this show specifically was for local women.
Yeah.
So I was like, it doesn't make sense to bring it to other cities, but I would love to make this project in other cities with locals in other cities and all of this. But you know, it's very hard without a sponsor. It would be very, very hard.
That's insane.
But then this gentleman came through and he was like, do you make NFTs? And I was like, what is that? And then I said, and I said, never heard of NFTs before. This was in March. So from March until 2 months ago, I did some research. I wasn't convinced. And I was like, I don't know. But then about 10 people asked me if I was doing NFTs. Wow. And I was like, I think I need to listen.
Yeah, 10 is a lot.
So first thing I did, I turned all of this into NFTs. I have now a virtual gallery with the collection. And now I'm expanding by empowering.
Is this the virtual gallery?
This is the virtual gallery.
Oh, amazing. It's so amazing. Like it looks so much like your
Yes,
real,
and it's one of those, you know, 3Ds that you can move around. And I also
how did you make your gallery?
Oh, it's a tool. It's a tool. I can share the tool when I find it because I don't know it by heart.
You don't know the name?
Yeah, but this was turned into, like, I animated them to make them something like, you know, another level on top of the original art. And now I'm bringing it to the NFT as an empowerment movement for the community. And now it's not just like a girl dare to dream. Now it's just dare to dream, because this one was about, you know, feminism. I really wanted to empower the local women. Now I'm going to work with empowerment of the community, and especially with the minorities. But I decided to start with Judy, which is one of the first people that I met in the community.
Let me just interject this too, is that I personally would go to see a show of women from Charleston, South Carolina, because it's almost like visiting another land. Like when you go visit man, you see a museum, landscape, but if you see the people that live there, like to me, that would be infinitely fascinating. And not just from Charleston, really from anywhere in the world. I'd be like, this is the way you really visit a place, is through the people who are impacting the community, you know? So, and I just want to throw that out.
Oh, that's a very cool.
I would totally go to a show, women in Charleston.
Yeah, but I'm kind of like, I couldn't hold on to the 42 pieces. I scattered them around.
You know, and that's showing work. I don't even do shows anymore, or gallery shows, unless somebody's paying me first, which doesn't happen. So I don't do it. You know?
Too much inventory, too much stuff. But I wanted to show, this was the last piece in the show. And it's called What's Your Story? So see how I animated this for the NFT? The original, of course, is not animated, but I used a mirror paint. And while you went through the gallery and you read all of those bios, you would think, you know, like like, you know, these people are doing amazing things. So who am I? What am I doing? So this piece was to bring that conversation. So you get to the end and it's the same size canvas as all of the other portraits, and you see yourself in the reflection. So that says, what's your story? And it was the 42nd piece for the show. So I had 40 women, my self-portrait, and that one. So that's how it makes the 42. So yeah, so that's the NFT for this is the collection that I have for the gallery show. So they're all in here. And if you look at them, they're all animated. I really enjoyed just putting that extra layer. So like this woman, she's amazing.
I love it.
I just thought she needed butterflies.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the Like a Girl, Dare to Dream. And now I'm doing the Dare to Dream, starting with the community. So I have Judy, we're kicking off the project this week. And then I'm painting Tony Payne next. And then Daissa, she's a Brazilian that is doing amazing as well as a supportive for the community. So I'm taking nominations. If anyone wants to nominate someone, there's a link here that you go to a Google Doc and then you put, who you want to nominate. And my plan with this.
Wait, I missed something. And what is the nomination for?
For the Dare to Dream NFTs. So now I'm
like you could be in it. Like I could
nominate someone that you think are doing great things for the NFT community. So I'm trying to find inspiring stories, people that are inspiring others, either by being very successful in NFTs or by lifting the community. So it's all of this. So this is for the
NFT. Take the share screen off again.
Yes. Okay. So for this, where do I find it? I lost the
green button in the middle.
Okay, stop share. Okay. So for this, I'm doing the smaller canvases. They're 16 by 20. See, I always add something like, so she has glitter in her eyes and she has her horse because she loves horse riding. The horse is called Annie. And so for this, I am going to give some benefits to the collector and some benefits for the nominees. So Judy will get the original oil. The collector gets the NFT and an airdrop that I'm doing based on the Dare to Dream project. I'm going to do a series of collectibles for the Dare to Dream. So I'm still picking on exactly what I'm doing, but I'm probably going with a star. So I'm going to paint stars because I think Dare to Dream is so going with that. So that's Judy and Annie. So that's the base for this first NFT that we're going to have for the Dare to Dream project. So let me put that back so you can see that on. So you go on foundation.
Well, there's going to be the link. The link will all be there. Like afterwards, what happened? You just send me the links in the description. Everything will be there.
Yeah. So you see how like the NFTs are all animated. They're different.
Yeah, it's amazing. I bet the people love that in their portrait.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's the idea on the, so I have on the website the roadmap for this project. So yeah, so that's the Dare to Dream empowerment thing. But then I have a collection that is to support the reforestation project in Brazil. I have the bees. I have let me show again here I'll show my collections here. So this collection for the Brazil reforestation, I give 100% of the sales. I haven't really advertised, so I haven't quite done a kickoff on this, but it's again, like, based on the paintings that I did for that show. So they're all animated as well, based on the original oils. And this goes to support the reserve. So that's one of my projects. And then I have the bees, which is based on a show that I currently have at the Grand Bohemian here in Charleston. And I launched the NFTs first before I launched the physical, tangible show. So there are 33 bees, each based on one of my hand painted in hexagonal shaped canvases.
Mhm.
So they're all very unique. All, these are not animated because they're meant to be more like a PFP kind of like concept. So yeah, so I still have some available, and my idea is that with the Hive, this one I'm not giving proceeds to anything. This is just a project of awareness to have people consider, what is happening with the bee population, look further, what can everyone do, because there's a lot of things that we can do as consumers, like by only getting organic honey and from small suppliers. There's a lot of little things, but I'm mostly opening people to look further into that. So yeah, so that's the Hive. And yeah, so I think that's let me go with, okay, stop share. You keep, I have two screens, so it keeps going. The stop button is on one side or the other, is confusing. But
wow, so your work is phenomenal, and there's so much going on.
Yeah, and this has been like a very like unexpected big week. I was awarded by the YWCA with an award that is What Women Bring. So I was selected on arts for my project from Like a Girl and Empowering the Community and supporting a few associations. So I got that award. I sold my John Lennon NFT on John Lennon's birthday, which was very cool. And with that, I was able to get into the raccoon family, got the money from that and bought into a project that I believe in. And I also got front cover of a local newspaper with the Hive exhibition. And I was on TV with the Hive exhibition as well. So all of this happened this week, and I'm like, I don't know how to manage this. It's a lot. It's
a lot. Welcome to the crypto world. The crypto world is so much energy and things change. I mean, that's just like real life world, what you're doing. But, once you start selling NFTs, like I haven't really, it's just a lot of change, right? So when I made a whole bunch of money in crypto, and I used to have to go running for like an hour every day. I'd just be like so hyper because it's everything new. It's a lot for your nervous system to like catch up with it. Like, okay, now I'm Miss Charleston. So who would have thought that you would have gone to Charleston and become this amazing figure there, public figure?
Yeah,
as an artist, we're just used to being like at home painting the studio.
Oh my God, yeah. Like I feel like I am such an introvert, and I like to keep it to myself, but I also learned that if I don't put my face out there, nothing really happens.
Exactly.
But since I got here, like I have my art in the town hall. I keep getting selected on these rotations of art. The mayors know me. It's like I have become a public figure. I go to places, I introduce myself and say, like, I know who you are. And I'm like,
like we saw you. Like my original accent was Southern because I grew up in North Carolina and South Carolina. If ever I go back there, I stop talking like this. I can't do my normal accent. Like I can't even talk my normal voice anymore. Like I just revert to my childhood.
And where are you based now?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. I have my friend that lives in Washington, D.C. She drove to see the exhibition Like a Girl.
I would have too. We could have drove together.
Yeah. And now with the Hive, she's here. She's out right now, but she came just to visit the Hive exhibition at the Grand Bohemian. So, yep. I'm going
to drive to Florida soon. I don't know what day or when, but I'm like, gonna go to Florida in my car.
Come by because it's on the way.
I will. And it's like my childhood. I used to go to Folly Beach when I was a little girl. Yeah. Oh, I loved it there.
It's nice. And like it's also the hometown of not hometown, but he's a local. I don't know if he was born here, if he just lives here, but Beeple, the big NFT, he's a Charleston person.
Wow, amazing.
He
still lives there?
I think so. I haven't, I don't know him personally, but whenever I see his stuff online, it says Charleston artist, Charleston base or whatever. So yeah, he's a local.
That's
And
amazing.
see, my first collector is local as well, because he's the guy that is with his wife was a connection I had on Facebook, Women in Business, a group, and she approached me saying like, my husband's a NFT collector. Are you doing NFTs? So that was the last call that I was like, okay, I have to do this. So I put it up, and then he was the first one to get some of my pieces. So it was a great, kickoff, and inspiring to know that I was immediately kind of like accepted in the community.
Wow.
So
wow,
yeah,
you're so
cool.
amazing. You're so amazing. You got that Brazilian energy, so extroverted. Even though you're introverted, just because you're Brazilian, Brazil has such like a energy, I have a question. You're painting your self-portrait. That's like a kind of a takeoff on Rembrandt, right?
Well, my idea on this one is that I'm using the brush and the palette knife as a weapon. So it's kind of like to look like a jewel, how you hold your weapons.
There's that famous Rembrandt portrait that from like a real distance.
It's funny because I never thought of that.
You got to look at it. You were totally, Rembrandt was probably helping you from the other side. Like, hey, do this angle. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
And then the hat, he has that big hat on. So is there any last thing you want to say before I have to go to the dentist? Like, wow.
I'm loving the community. I've been very much, involved into the spaces and getting to know people. And I really look forward to working on the Dare to Dream, empowering the community. So I would love to get nominations for people to be painted.
I'm going to nominate myself. Is that okay?
Nice. Well, the nominations are anonymous, so I would
nobody will know. Well, if you get one from me, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. You know what I'm gonna do? I just had this idea. Was it today?
Yes.
So I've been thinking, I want to do like an NFT after every like show of all the people that I met, and then. But it just, how it takes. It's that one when the idea clicks. As an artist, you might have a lot of ideas, and then there's the one that clicks. And I'm like, I'm gonna do, I do these animal portraits. So now what I do is like do a portrait of everyone who I interview and make them into like an animal, like in my animal style, and make it.
Oh, cool. I like that. That's very cool.
So you'll be the first to know, because I just had the idea today, but I like to do the body, like I do a lot of figurative too. So if you can wear the tighter clothes, the better, but it could be anything. I mean, it could be nude. I don't, I'm not a problem with that. however you like, but I love the figure. I love the body. So anytime you can see it.
Yes.
And then I've made a raccoon woman.
Oh, cool.
Made monkey, jaguar man, monkey man. So
I definitely see myself on the feline family.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you can have a real long tail.
I love it. Oh, and one thing I forgot, I just remember because I was seeing like such a busy week. On top of all of that, I was also selected for that Art in Motion. They're doing this huge thing on Penn Station in New York with NFTs.
Oh my God.
They spent $500,000 on advertising to bring awareness to NFTs, and they selected 88 artists to put on this show. So we currently have the NFTs up for bids through this curated show on bringing awareness to NFTs in New York.
Oh my God, you have to put all of these links.
I don't know how all of this happened.
It's fast. That's what happens,
Yeah.
Crypto, it's the people who just embrace it. Once you open your life to not just NFTs, but crypto, like every friend I have, I say, please get some Bitcoin, please get a little access. Here's a little tip. Like I'm always, and then most people don't open to it, but the ones who do is like, oh my God, this is the best thing that ever happened,
Oh, I am all in. I'm so excited about all of this. I think, and I realize because I'm a mom. And people, like they keep thinking, oh, why are you buying the whole, buy a JPEG, idea. And then it's because they don't understand the younger generation either. So yesterday, my son brought his iPad, and he was super proud to show off all his digital assets, really, because it's, you know, it's Minecraft skins, it's, you know, these things that he collected on all of those games. And he's only 7. So the younger generation is very much attached to the digital assets, you know.
I know. Sometimes I got friends that are like 25 and I'm like, oh, you're so behind the times, lady.
And I love like my NFTs. I collected quite a few already.
Yeah,
like every money that I made, I spent back in the community. I have a second monitor and I have my NFTs showing here. I love them. So it's like, it's so nice. So I see this as a huge new universe for collectors, because I don't have wall space to have all of that art.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, me neither.
Yeah, like we have already our own stuff.
Art world, it was completely broken. Like I had quit showing and everything. I'm like, I'm doing tons of work. If I want to be a successful money-making artist, I pretty much have to work night and day. And I'm like, I don't think I feel like it, you know? So I just waited, and then, you know, NFTs happened, and then
yes, oh my God.
Once one thing starts going good, then it's like a momentum, because I started selling my real paintings for a lot.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think it goes hand in hand. It is, as you say, like a momentum. There's like an energy flow, and things just
because you're also happier, because you're like, oh, being an artist, oh yeah, I got ripped off, I got insulted, I had to work hard. And now I got to be a good salesperson. I got to be a trucking company. I got to be an accountant. Like, I was depressed. You know, sometimes I've been very depressed about being an artist. Sometimes I've been very sad. You know, because you're an artist. You're like, I'm an artist. I want to share with the world the beauty. And then you get out in the world, and it's like,
oh, people don't understand what it takes to be an artist. You have to be a business person. You have to be like everything in a small business to actually run your art. It's insane. So the creative part is very small. Like the time that I actually spend painting is not nearly as much as I wish I did. So,
I know. Wow, you're so exciting. And so we're going to see your work in New York. We're going to get all of your ladies. All these ladies from South Carolina are now going to be like world famous.
Yeah,
how are they going to handle it? They're like, oh my gosh, I used to be like, you know, whatever. Now I'm getting in, and they'll end up getting interviewed, you know? So I love this new world. Yeah. Do you know about Axie Infinity, play to earn?
No.
All right. So now crypto, your son, I tell this to my friends whose kids play games. Now you earn crypto. It's called Axie Infinity. There are other ones too, but this is the best one. Axie Infinity. Like I'm totally investing in Axie because it's a game, only they're earning crypto, but it's also an eco space where you can staking and exchange. So you're not only playing, you're earning, and you're not only earning, but you're learning about finance and also the whole blockchain ecosystem. So kids are making millions. Some towns, this is why I love crypto. I mean, there's a million great things about crypto. Some of these towns, you know, say a very small town in Africa or South America, somewhere where there's not other income, that person playing this game could be the top earner in that whole town.
Wow.
Yeah, some people are really making money at it.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, we are so fortunate to be in a country where, you know, we have a currency that is good, and we have like the basics really for everyone. So when I buy NFTs from, like, one of the pieces I bought is from this girl in India. She is amazing, like a sweetheart, and she's in a small village. Ria, you probably came across her. She does very well on, you know, being involved in the community. She's super sweet. And I bought one of her water pieces. She's like floating in the water, and the money is going to her education, because her family can't really afford it. She has to pay her own tuition. So it just makes me super happy that we buy like one NFT and it helps someone so much, because the money goes a long way there. So
exactly. Yeah, I used to live in Mexico, so I understood it. I understood the value of the crypto, and what people don't understand too. When this is just for everyone, it just kind of really hit me. I mean, I knew it before, but when you're buying an NFT, the likelihood of not just the value of the artist grows as long as the artist is still working. always, and the artist could become huge, and the dollar value of that art could 10 times or 100 times or whatever. But also at the same time, the value of crypto is like mushrooming out. So one Ethereum in a year could easily be worth $12,000. Right now it's worth $3,500. One Tez, I put some kitty cats up for one Tez just to get some stuff moving on Ikanunk. And, you know, 5 days later, a Tez was worth $10. So that's like a 30% jump in a currency in a week. So like in a year, these things that we buy for one Tez, it could be worth $100, could be worth 400. I mean, you don't know, just because the value of the crypto is growing, and all of us who are in the NFT space is such a new space too. So
yeah,
very exciting. And I think we're all going to be, I just hit me, we're all going to be so rich just from collecting our friends' work. Where one Tez or free or 0.1 ETH or one ETH or whatever. These collections are going to be like,
oh yeah, like I'm holding a very nice collection right now, and all the artists I've been collecting, I think I have a good eye. So I believe that even though like I'm not spending money that I need to make a living, because that's what I tell people, I say like, don't use money that you need, because maybe you're betting on something that is not going to give you money in the future. But I honestly believe that these people that I've invested on, they're going to be way more valuable in the future. But I'm happy if they don't. I'm still very happy with every NFT that I got.
Yeah, because you're not thinking that when you're buying it. Like I'm not thinking that at all when I'm buying it. I'm just like, oh, I love this, and you know,
I love each and every one of them.
Maybe one day in the future you can come on and show me your collection.
Yes, we'll
because I just like to have like come at the show from different angles. But
yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the stop recording. So, but don't hang up, just because I'm like, bye, see you later. Thanks for coming on, and everybody smash those likes and comment again. You could comment more than once. And check out all of her links. All right, thank you. Ciao.